Guys, can you believe this? There's a difference of opinion on the internet that is causing drama. If you are in the health and fitness world, you've probably seen the bit of drama that's popped up over the last couple of days between Paul Saladino and Greg O'Gallagher. Now, before I get into the details and my personal opinion and my perspective on this from my 18 years of coaching experience, I want to give this disclaimer. This is not a shame or slander zone. That doesn't happen on my channel. That doesn't happen in my business. There'll be no dirt here. So if you're looking for the dirt and you're looking for the drama, probably just want to click out of this video and go somewhere else because that doesn't happen here, okay? With that in mind, Paul Saladino, who is widely known for helping many people transform their health and their fitness using animal-based eating, which is centered around animal proteins such as beef, chicken, turkey, fish, eggs, bison, venison, and then filling in the gaps with good fats and with easily digestible carb sources such as fruit and honey. That's, in a nutshell, what Paul has done for a long time now, and he's helped many people. They, generally speaking, teach you what to eat, and they don't use calorie counting or anything like that. Greg O'Gallagher, on the other hand, another just veteran of the health and fitness industry, who I really like. I followed both these guys for a long time. As I said, this is not slander. This is not the dirt. I really like and respect both of these guys, and they both have helped many people. I think it's important to keep that in mind. You're not talking about people bickering that don't have any skin in the game, that have never done anything, that have never helped anybody, and don't have any like before and afters, no testimonials to show for it. No, these guys are both veterans and they've helped a lot of people over the years. And that's got to count for something. All right. But anyway, Greg is known for transforming people's physiques, and they use much more precise calorie counting. They use intermittent fasting, where you're only eating through a certain window of time, with specific workouts designed to get you stronger and transform your physique. So, two very different approaches. And like I said, they've both been wildly successful over the years. So since this is a non-drama, non-dirt, non-slander zone, my question would be, who's right? So Paul posted this video and he kind of used Greg as an example of like, hey, counting calories is wrong. This doesn't work to shed fat. And then Greg answered back and said, look, man, your approach is wrong. Like maybe that works for some situations, getting people to eat real foods is good, but for shedding fat, trying to get smaller or even trying to get bigger, you need to count calories. So who's right? Well, here we go. My thought on this is yes, honestly, they're both right in their own worlds, in their own perspectives, in their own businesses. And how do I know that? Well, for one thing, they both helped a lot of people. So like hundreds and thousands now of people have gotten incredible, honestly, life-changing results with both of those respective approaches. Honestly, they might both be slightly incomplete without the other. In America, we have a lot of problems regarding our health and fitness, to be completely honest. It's very difficult to pinpoint one single problem that's causing the vast health issues that many of us are dealing with. And that's challenging. It means that it's not an easy fix, unfortunately. Because if it was just one thing, you could just go, all right, everybody, this is the problem. Just fix this thing, avoid this issue, and you'll all be okay. And that's just not the case. There's a lot more issues. It's a lot more complex and a lot deeper than I think a lot of us would like to believe, unfortunately. So, Paul's approach, nutritional guidelines, choosing the right foods, yes, you should absolutely do that because it's going to transform your health. And honestly, for most people, it's going to transform your physique as well. Greg's approach, a little bit more precise, a little bit more calorie counting, maybe some restricted eating windows where you're only eating during a certain period of time. Can that have benefits? Obviously, yes. Many people have gotten life-changing results with that approach. And do a lot of people in our country overeat? Yeah. And honestly, if you're not doing what Paul does, which is teach you to eat real food, so if you're eating like highly processed foods, fake foods, GMO, genetically modified organism foods, then you're not going to feel as satiated and you're probably going to overeat. If you're eating real foods, it's going to be much easier to eat appropriate amounts because when you eat real foods, you naturally become more satiated. Let me give you an example. Let's say you normally have a pretty good diet and you eat most of your food at home. You cook your food, which is really what you should be doing. And then you go on a trip and you're doing your best and you eat out at a restaurant and you're like, okay, I ate reasonably good, but I just didn't feel good. I didn't feel nourished or satiated after that meal, even though I ate to the best that I could. I ate real foods for the most part. It's because sometimes you're getting lower quality foods and they're not as nutrient dense and you just don't feel as nourished and you don't feel as satiated as you would when you're eating real foods. So what happens a lot of time if you're eating processed foods is people have a tendency to overeat. So with that in mind, what's my approach? So I've been doing this for about 18 years. Many of y'all know that I played minor pro hockey for a few years. I competed in American Ninja Warrior for 3 seasons. And now I've been training people for about 18 years, transforming bodies, getting people free from pain, and turning them into lifelong athletes. I love doing this. And I'll be honest, I haven't had a client track their calories in about 3 years. I used to give people the option. And I would say, hey, there's 2 different approaches we can take. If you want to track your calories and track your macros, which your macronutrients are basically how your calories break down into protein, carbs, and fat. So for instance, you could have 1,000 calories of protein, you could have 1,000 calories of carbs, you could have 1,000 calories of fat, or you could have that same 1,000 calories with some protein, some carbs, and some fat. Those are macronutrients. So I used to give people the option, hey, you can track your calories if you want to, or I can just give you nutritional guidelines to follow. And some people wanted to track and some people just wanted the guidelines depending on their personality type and how much time they had on their hands. And what I found was that everybody was getting great results. Everybody that did the work got amazing results. But the people that were tracking their calories, in my experience, were working much, much harder than the people that I just gave nutritional guidelines. All they did was follow the directions and eat the foods I told them to eat. And they got great results, but it was a lot easier for them. So I'm not gonna say that one approach is better or worse than the other because they're both helping lots of people and doing amazing work. That would be foolish to say that this person that's helping hundreds or even thousands of people now is doing it wrong. So I'm big on kindness. I'm big on empathy, and especially on the internet, because you're not there with the person so that they can see you smile at them, so that you can put your hand on their shoulder and they can feel your kindness, your love, your empathy. So my approach when I'm on the internet is to be overly kind and overly gracious. Just my approach, and it works for me. It makes life a lot better. I don't get into bickering matches. I just don't do that. I recommend that you do the same because it doesn't make life better. All right. So as far as Paul, dude, I love Paul Saladino. Is he a little extreme sometimes? Yeah. Most people that really believe in their stuff are a little bit extreme. I don't mind that. It's great. He's willing to adjust. He used to be all meat and he got great results. And then he realized, hey, this could be a little bit better. I'm starting to not feel the best. So he added in carbs and now he's adjusted his methodology. And you know what? People get great results from following what he teaches. I love his stuff. Greg O'Gallagher has been doing this for a long time, makes people really strong. He values getting strong, transforming people's bodies. That's awesome. Go for it. I think Greg's an awesome dude from what I can tell. I don't know these guys personally. That's the other thing. If I don't know someone personally, I'm going to give them an extra benefit of the doubt because I don't have direct insight. So God bless them. I think that they're both doing great work. That's my perspective on it, is that both these things, these kind of methods, these protocols can work. And honestly, you should take them both into consideration. Should you eat real foods? Duh, it makes life better. Should you also take into consideration, hey, if I'm just constantly overeating, maybe I should eat a little bit less. If I need to grow muscles, hey, I might need to eat a little bit more. Even women that don't necessarily want to get bigger, a lot of times if they've been dieting for a long time, I actually have them eat more. And then they get stronger, they grow muscles, they improve their metabolism, and then they start shedding fat. Many of the women that I work with actually need to eat more right away. And then they end up shedding fat as a secondary step. I like to say, just a little side note here, working with men is more like science. Working with women is more like art because there's just more variables. So You always have to take into consideration, kind of with a grain of salt, whatever you're learning out there on the internet, you might not be getting the entire picture. So I like to look at it like this: happy, healthy, and then aesthetics, especially when you're dealing with women, but even for men as well. If you're miserable, you're probably not going to have an easy time getting healthier or seeing your body change. If you're unhealthy, it's gonna be very difficult to see your body change. So most people wanna go right to aesthetics and do these crash diets, but they're miserable and they're unhealthy and it just doesn't work. Or maybe it works for a month and then they destroy their metabolism and it ends up becoming worse than it was at the start. So happy, healthy, and then aesthetics follow that. All right? So here's my question for you. Did you guys catch any of this drama? What were your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you down in the comments section there. And if you're looking for an approach that is holistic, meaning we treat the entire person, we look at the entire person, then I want you to comment program down below and I'll send you some information on my programs and how we set this up. I use this phrase, the 4 components of health and fitness: training, nutrition, sleep, and mindset. It's basically everything that makes us tick, everything that makes up our life experience. And if you're addressing all that stuff, you're probably getting incredible results. If you're only addressing like one thing, like I worked out, but my diet's terrible, or I'm on a diet, but I'm chronically stressed, I don't sleep. If you're just picking and choosing what you're gonna focus on, you're probably not gonna get great life-changing results. But when we address the entire person, you're gonna see massive transformation, and it's gonna come much more efficiently and much more reliably. We don't count calories, we don't do any fad dieting, no extreme yo-yo dieting, nothing weird, all right? But people get incredible results. They transform their bodies, they get free from pain, and they become lifelong athletes, which makes me very, very happy. I believe that your best days are ahead. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you. See you in the next video. What's up, guys? If you're watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, man, I would love to get life-changing results, to get strong, lean, and pain-free, but I'm just not quite sure where to start, I want to give you a free fitness audit. Now, this is not a sales call. Seriously, leave your credit card at home. Just jump on with me and the team, share your situation, let us know what your goal is, and we will help you problem solve that situation and make sure that you get massive value and you're set up for success moving forward. Between you and me, my goal for my free content is to give more value than most people's paid programs. So check down the description section, book a free fitness audit, and be sure to like and subscribe for more ways to perform fitness miracles. See you soon.